Hey everyone, welcome to another MiniVerse Make It Mini Foods video. This one is the Diner Series 3, and it's got the picture of the hamburger or the cheeseburger on the top of it, or in the front of it. So I've got two of these. I'm going to put these together. These are a little bit bigger sets usually, so I can usually do two of these, and it takes up the time pretty well. Get that loud thing off there. I understand why they make it plastic, because they don't want people to be sneaking looks underneath of it or opening them in the store. I can understand for sure, but they sure are annoying. Annoyingly loud. Okay, so these are the ones with the table. You know what? I put so many of these tables together. Well, I can do another one. Okay, we'll show you, just in case this is the first one. Pop that into there. Normally you could put them in the little, normally you could pop them in there. I've had mixed results with having them actual work in there, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. Okay, we've got a little, like a doily. Get your papers. I like the instruction book. I'll keep that next to me, but the other one I don't care about. The safety directions, we don't care about that. No, you do care about that. Read them at least the first time you work them. That way you know how to be safe with the resin and stuff. But after that, it's just the same thing over and over again. Okay, I've got a little spatula knife, so I'm guessing this is going to be some kind of cake or cupcake or something like that. Okay, the little top to the dome. Tweezers I won't need. I'll put that there. Let's open this one. This feels like a can of sprinkles of some kind. Guessing sprinkles. Oh, chocolate chips. Okay. I got chocolate chips. Make sure there's nothing else in there. Whipped cream. That's cool. I wonder. Yeah, it's just little bitty whipped creams in there. But I love that can. That is too awesome. That's like a little, you shake it up and on your top of your stuff. That's the sound it makes too. Squirt it in your mouth. That's good stuff. Now let's do the red one. This feels like it may be the whatever they are, the cakes or whatever. No, it's a little cake stand. Okay. I'll open this one next. Okay, this looks like it might be your frosting. Mint frosting. Sunny days. Mint. Okay, I have no clue. And this looks like it might be a cake. Checkerboard cake. Okay. Oh, and it's got a slice like pulled out of it. That's cool. So you can put it on here. Where are you going to put the slice at though? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the directions look like. Because unless you have a plate, where are you going to stick that? Okay, it must be that one. Yeah, mint checkered cake. So that's what it's supposed to look like. Oh, they're putting the slice on that little paper doily. Well, we could do that. And they're putting the chocolate chips in the bottom. Okay. So they're saying, take your cake, spread your frosting around, put your little things on there, and then put your chocolate chips around, and then the whipped cream. Put your chocolate chips around, and then put it in the sun or your UV light and bake it. So, or heat it up, or whatever you want to call it. I call it baking it in the light, but it's not really baking it. So I like how they have theirs done. I don't necessarily like it that it's on this little paper thing for the slice. That's the only problem. I wish they gave you a little plate. That would have been nice if they'd given you one little separate plate, and I don't have one on my own somewhere, so I'm going to have to, we'll just have to do it. They're putting the frosting pretty much all over it, like on the sides and the bottom and everywhere. I got out some little pieces of parchment paper for another one that I did. So, and I've been keeping the little squares because I haven't got them dirty yet, really. I will probably use it. Yeah, I'll probably put the cake on that and then cover it with the frosting. Because like I said, the frosting goes all the way down the sides, all the way to the very bottom. And if I let it run a little bit on this, it won't make that big of a difference. And then I can pick the whole thing up. You know what, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go one step further. The UV light I have has this little tray. that I can pick the whole thing up. I'm going to build it all on this tray. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And then I'll just pick the whole tray up, put the whole thing in the UV light, and then we're done. So I think that's the best way of doing it. So there's my cake. Yeah, it does. Oh, cool. It does have a little checker pattern on there. That's neat. Okay. Now you really want to frost your cake with it together, technically, and then pull it apart. I'm thinking I need to put it on something though, just so it won't, I can't pick it up. Once I get frosting all over the top and the bottom of the sides, how are you going to pick that up to put it under your light? I guess if you're just putting it out in the sun, you would put it on something stiff and carry it outside. I don't know, but you work out how you're going to do it logistically yourself. I think this will work for me. Okay. Ooh, that is some blue frosting. I wonder if I can do just the top and then pull it apart. Yeah, and I'll put it on the edge and I'll pull the whole cake apart. That way we're not making it run on the inside where that slice is at. They give you, it seems like they give you quite a bit. I never was any good at frosting cakes, just to let you know. Okay, got that. Let's see if we can pull it apart now. You're 100% going to be able to see those lines through this, unless it turns more solid, like as it heats up. I don't think it will though. I think it's going to stay this kind of translucent color. Okay. I'm really trying to figure out how I'm going to get this bigger one frosted. I could put a little bit more on top. I guess I can kind of hold it here for a little while of it. This is another one of these that I can't imagine small kids doing, because it's a lot of, I mean, you would make a mess. or you would make a mess. Small kids would make a mess. And it says these are for like 8 and up. I don't know. I just can't imagine. Because you see, I'm having a hard time doing it. Of course, I've got these big chunky fingers. Okay, while I was holding it in my hand, at least I could kind of manipulate it around. Now it's just going to be me trying to work around it without making a complete and total mess. And of course, some of this is going to be covered up with the chips and stuff like that. Now this slice does not look great. I can't grab it. Oh no. You knew catastrophe would strike at some point in time. Okay, so that's about the best I can do with that. It is a little bit of a mess. I can say that on the side here with my slice, I need to spread it a little bit more. Trying to take some of the excess off. And also smear it around to where it's a little bit smoother, not so lumpy. Okay, I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. Okay, so we're going to take our Cool Whip. I'm just going to dump them out over here. Yep, there's our whipped cream toppings. So we're going to have one, oops, hooked on my little light. I'm going to have one like on the slice. Is that near the edge? No, that's near the center. And then I have 5 more. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. We'll just work with it. And it's pretty evenly spaced. And then these chips, this is going to be interesting. They're supposed to be around like the bottom and a little bit in the center. So I'm going to sprinkle a few over here. And I'll just take a tool and push them up next to the edge. To where they'll stick. Yeah, I'm basically going to do the same thing for around the actual cake. Let's get a big pile of them for a second. I know you probably can't see this, but I'm just pushing them against the edge of the bottom edge of the cake. That tool's getting sticky. I need to wipe it off. Get out of there. I wish these would come out a little bit better. Or they'd put them in a tube where they weren't in a shaker. That would have probably been better. And then it showed some in the middle on the top. So I'll probably put Stay there. It's hard to do with your fingers. Okay, this one's definitely been more finicky than a lot of them that I've done. It's neat, but it's just more, you know, finicky as far as the frosting and stuff goes, and it's still not as nice as I would like it to be, but we'll see. So I'm going to get this in the light. I'm just going to pick this whole thing up, get it in my light. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see if the parchment paper really works. It should pull right off. And hopefully I can break away the little pieces that are kind of like stuck. Yeah, I'll just take out a little knife and trim those away. But that worked out pretty decent. I mean, it's not perfect, but yeah, I'll just take my little X-Acto knife and get those. I may have to put those in that light for an extra 5 minutes, but that looks pretty cool. Cool. I like it. Yeah, you can see it pulled off. It's got a thin layer of that frosting on there is what that is. It's not the paper, it's just the resin that I got on there is a real thin layer, especially when I dropped it. But I think I can just pop most of that off. Not bad. For as fiddly as it was, it looks pretty good. I am going to put that in the light for another 5 minutes just to firm it. It feels just a little tacky, and you can see through it. There's nothing I can do about it. There's pretty much out of the frosting, and maybe if I went back and added another layer to it, it might be able to fill it in. But is it worth it? Probably not. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so let's see what's the next one. I'm just going to lay this to the side right now. I'll probably just stick it on this little plate just like that. I'll probably just have it just like that, because they didn't give you another little plate, so there's nowhere to go with it. This I will throw away. Put it inside a bag. You, and you, and you. These little fuzzies. Okay. So I've got the next one almost open. Just got to pull the last little bit off. Table again, just pop it in. Okay, this one has a little placemat. Ichinin, it looks like a sushi. I've already done one sushi. I wonder if I've got another one, because I ordered a sushi separate from the initial batches I bought. So I'm wondering if maybe this one is the same thing as one I've already done before, which is fine. I don't mind doing it again. I still think they're cool. I actually do it better this time, because the last one I kind of screwed up. There's chopsticks. Love the chopsticks. Look, that's pretty cool. I mean, they actually look like chopsticks. Put those there. Don't need the tweezers. I'll hold that for just a second, just to make sure. A lot of packages in this one. Okay, so this one. This is your rice bowl. Yeah, it's looking familiar. This should be a rice vinegar. Yeah, rice vinegar with a little squeeze thing. Yep. There's your rice. There's your fish. And this is probably going to be your mold for your rice, if I had to guess. Your little table. Oh, the mold for the rice is in here. I forgot. It's in that. It's in that little plastic thing. Yeah, this is the exact same one I've done before. It's okay. We'll do it again. So I'm going to take the tape off this and put the little squirt lid and lay it on its side just so it can start running down a little bit. Come on my finger. Those little lids get sticky and they stick to your fingers really bad. They don't want to come off. I'm going to lay that on its side. And then this is the fish. Okay, that's for your fish. Shrimp. I'm assuming like all the rest of these are like salmon and things like that. And here's your little rice mold. My problem with the first one I did, I tried to do the round side down and the flat side up, and that's not how you do it. You want to put the rice in there, and then you want to take it out and put the flat side down, and with a little piece of fish on the top, because the fish actually has a little like curve to it, to where it lays right on the round piece. So it works out really, really well. So I just didn't know that the first time. So I had to actually like glue it down, which I probably will glue this down anyway. But what you want to do is you take your rice. And I'm just going to cut the whole top off. I usually try to save the bags a little bit, but I'm just going to cut the whole thing off. There it is. Pour this into your bowl, your rice bowl. And you want to squirt some vinegar in here. And you want to make it enough to coat it pretty decent, but you don't want it to be like saturated. And what I'm going to do is you take your little spoon thingy and you stir it up, and you really just want to get everything coated with the resin. And if you need more, just add more. But you don't want it too saturated. You just want it to be just enough to hold it together. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then you want to take a spoonful of this and put it in your mold. Just scoop it up and throw it in there, and you can flatten it out later. It's okay. You're going to use probably 3/4 of it anyway. It feels like sand, like grains of sand and sticky, like almost like candy or something. It feels funny. Okay, so what I did the last time is I actually just left that little spoon in there and I actually did the resin on that as well. But I got you can use this, you can use a toothpick, you can use whatever you want to do to kind of move this around and put it in the little molds, but you don't want it to stick together. So you want them to be like separate and you want to push it down in there a little bit, but you want them kind of flat on the bottom. And it's kind of finicky, not as bad as that cake, but it's a little finicky. And we may have to take a little bit. If we put too much in there, that's fine. We can take some back out. You'd rather have too much in there and then take some out than not enough and it not look good. I will get it picked up in a second. There we go. Like I said, you really just don't want it to touch each other if you can help it. And work on one little section at a time. So that one looks pretty decent. I might take a toothpick and just push down a little bit on that side, but this little plastic stick, it tends to get sticky and stuff just stays stuck to it, so it doesn't move around too much. But it works pretty decent. Okay, like I said, just take your toothpick and kind of, I mean, you could use the toothpick for the whole time. And you're going to put this whole mold either out in the sun, or if you have a UV light, you're going to put the whole thing in the UV light and you're going to let it bake, cook, set for like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what kind of light you have. If you're going out in the sun, if it's a really good sunny day, you probably still want to give it like 10 minutes. But you might be good in 5 minutes. It just depends. And make sure if you're using a light, especially if you're using a handheld light, make sure you shine it from the bottom as well. That's why it's clear, because you want to get the resin hardened up on the bottom as well as on the top. So it gives you, that's why they're clear. So the UV light will go through and harden up the bottom of these as well. I'm just separating them out. Don't want them to stick together. The good thing about these are they do seem to be a little finicky, but they're also going to take you a little time to do, and be patient with them, and you're going to get your money's worth, right? You're going to get your money's worth out of these. The ones that go together really fast, sometimes I feel like it's like, okay, all I did was pour something in a bowl and dump some resin on top of it, and I don't know, it just, is it like, okay, is that worth $6 or $7 just for me to do that 1 or 2 minutes worth of stuff? I don't know. It's still fun. I enjoy doing them all. I'm just saying this is definitely worth your money because you can be more fiddly with it. Whereas the other ones, you're just kind of dumping stuff in and it's not quite as time consuming. Okay, I think that's pretty well done. Make sure everything's separate. Okay, now I'm going to take that And I'm going to put it in my UV light by itself. And I'm also going to take this and I'm going to harden it up just like, you know, okay, we've made some. We didn't quite clean up our dishes yet. You know, we're kind of lazy. We're making it, but we haven't cleaned up yet. So I'm going to put this under the light at the same time. That way it'll be firmed up just like it is. And we can display it with the sushi. So I'll be right back. Okay, so it's out of the UV light. You can see this really does firm up. And it just, I don't know, it just looks cool to kind of sit there and like you've just made it up. So let's pop our rice out of the molds. Should pop right out of there. They did. They popped right out. I don't know what you can use those molds for again, but whatever. Let's see. We got the flatter side kind of right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, I mean, none of them are really flat, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, yeah, like you've got, that's what I was saying, try to flatten it out as well as you can in your mold, because if you don't, it's going to have these little bumpy pieces on there and they're not going to set very well. So I'm going to do that one, that one. Okay. And then what you want to do is, I mean, you could just lay your fish on top, but that wouldn't work very well. So what you want to do is take a little bit of your resin and kind of, I'm just going to go kind of over all of it, because I actually want it to stick down on the board. So I'm going to go down and touch. And I know sushi would never actually look like this. I'm sure people that make sushi would be like, no, you would never do it like that. Ah, it's awful. So I'm going to stick, let's see, let's stick that on there. Let's see, we got a pale piece on top, I mean, next to that. And a darker piece. And then a lighter piece. Oops. Now those are kind of clear. I'm hoping they'll firm up. Yeah, you see how well this one laid on there. Get back on there. Fiddly. I'm telling you, all these are fiddly today. Okay, so I'm going to put these back under the light. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's how the sushi came out. It looks pretty nice. I mean, like I said, you would probably never in a real sushi restaurant have the rice wine vinegar, running off the edges and stuff. But that's the only way I could get it to stick the rice to the little table and to get it under the fish. So I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. You got your little chopsticks here. You could lay in front. You get your bowl, your rice right there. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So that and the cake turned out okay, I guess. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't thicker, but that's not necessarily my fault. It's just it's the way that resin is. It's just not as translucent as, or opaque as it should be. It's a little too translucent. So it looks okay. I showed it to Tammy. She liked it, so that's all that matters. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This is not going to stay on there. Sit up. Hope you enjoy this video. Make a bunch of these, so if you like it, just keep an eye out. I'll have more. If you hit subscribe and hit the bell, it'll notify you when I have videos posted. I post 4 days or 5 days, 4 days a week for these, and another video I do a week is a game video. So if you're interested, you can watch that. But I play with Andrew, my son. So I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.